Okay, today I'm going to install a log catcher on this log splitter. This thing works great. It's got a 25-ton ram on here. It has a 196 cc gasoline engine. It's more than enough to power this ram and to split large logs that you can get on here. And it's got a lever. Pull the lever, and you have to hold the lever. Ram comes back and it splits the log. But what happens is, being there's no table here, the log splits in two. You're holding one side over here, you got the other one over here. Most of the time it falls down, so you lose your efficiency. Also, it has a tendency to hit the motor, and depending on the weight of the log, it could damage the engine. So what I'm going to do is install what they call a log catcher. The one that I bought is a country line for a 25 ton. Okay, I bought this from a local they sell tractors and all kinds of stuff, like lawn equipment. But several people make these. It comes with the bolts. Supposedly these are made for these dirty hand tools, but what happens is the bolt holes are in the wrong spot. So what I'm going to have to do is measure these. I have one hole here that's drilled. I'll have to measure and drill another hole farther back down on the frame. Okay, so you see here's one hole, here's the other one, and over here you have absolutely nothing. So that's where I'm going to bolt these onto. But first, let me see if the bolts that they gave me, see, they won't even go through. So what happens is I'm going to have to drill these out. I mean, everybody says they fit perfect, but everybody knows they don't. The bolt that they gave me is a 1/2 inch, but it doesn't fit. So what I did, so I'll have to drill it out. So I took a drill that is just a tiny bit wider than this 1/2 inch bolt, because I want to give myself a little bit of a slop in here, just so when I put it on, it's easier to work with. The bit inside the drill, and I tighten it all up. Okay, I wear reading glasses, so they're also safety glasses. My recommendation is to put glasses on, but everyone does whatever they want. So anyway, I'm just going to drill this out. That was fairly easy. And the bolt fits right through there. Alright, so here's the catcher. I'll just put the bolt right through there. See why I want it to be a little looser? Because it doesn't go 100%. It's just still a little tight. Alright, then I'll go on this side and just put the nut on temporarily. Basically, I'm just trying to get it to be all spaced out correctly. Alright, and here is the nut on the other side. Now with the log catcher on, but it's not bolted because there's no hole over here, I would normally use a center punch and hit it in the center, but I don't know exactly where the center is. So what I'm going to do is sort of cheat and take the drill, because I know it fits through there. I have this lined up just where I want it. Got to be very careful. And I know it's going to be really hard for that big drill to go through there. So all I did was put a little nick in here where the drill goes, and I'm going to use a small drill to drill a pilot hole first before I use this big drill. Okay, somehow I lost a couple files, and that was when I was drilling the pilot hole in the beam, and also following it up with the larger diameter drill. So what happens is, when you see that little divot that I drilled on the frame just to get the location of where I want to put the bracket, the next thing I wanted to do was drill a pilot hole. And the pilot hole is just a smaller drill because it's easier to go through the steel with a smaller one, and then you follow it up with a larger one. So this is the larger one I used for the 1/2-inch bolt, and here is the smaller drill. So you'll see it's considerably smaller. So you drill this pilot hole first, and then you drill the main diameter hole that you want the bolt to fit through. Now with the pilot hole, with the new hole drilled, now we can install this. We'll put one first. Doesn't make any difference which one we get. Okay, so here it is as it comes through on the other side. So I'll put a lock washer on there. And I will put the nut. Okay, that's one started. Okay, so we have the bolt washer. Just have to wiggle it in. That's why I made these holes just a touch larger. See, so I have a lock washer. Put the nut on. This is a number 19. So this other bolt is turning. So I just put a ratchet on there. I could get a wrench too, but this is what I have. Okay, so that's good and tight. Now I go to the other one, do the same thing. Put the ratchet on here. Okay, that should be tight enough. So now we have the log catcher installed. It's on. It's on for good. But when it came, it didn't come with the right bolt pattern, so we had to just drill our own. So now what will happen is, when you use this, and this ram comes forward, and you're splitting a log, you can set one of the halves over here while you're split the other part. And then, like what I do, I just throw it in my van after they're all split. I don't have to bend down so many times. That's the nice thing of having a log catcher, because you increase your efficiency. Instead of having the logs fall down, they don't. They sit on here. And also, it's a safety issue for your motor, because nothing will fall on the motor. So once again, this one is a country line, but you can buy. They have several different types. This one happens to be $60. It'll be my own personal splitter. It's a Troy built 27 ton. It's got a Honda 160 cc engine, and being that it's Honda, it always starts. So it comes with these two side brackets. So I'll just move this off. Bracket here and a bracket here. So what I did, instead of, they didn't sell those anything when I did this, so I cut myself a piece of 1/4-inch steel. I just rounded the edges a little bit to a grinder, drilled 2 holes, which makes the pattern over here, and just bolted it on. That way, when I'm splitting, and I just need a little more room because I'm splitting one piece, I can set this over here and it will stay, versus on this side there's nothing there. It also protects the motor. if one of these pieces fall off. But the only thing I don't like about this is when it's running, it'll vibrate off. So what I'm going to do is get a little piece of 1/4-inch steel here, and maybe just put 2 little pieces here, one there, one here. Just weld them on there, and that way it won't move off. That way it'll just constantly stay there. The other thing I did with this is that I kept on reading reports that these brackets were falling off because these bolts were too small. So what I did, I drilled holes right over. I pulled these out, pulled this bracket out, drilled a larger diameter hole, and then I used this tap, which is 1/2 13 coarse, and I put it in here, and I tapped new threads and put 1/2-inch bolts in there, and ever since then I don't have any problem whatsoever. Now if you look at this other side, it's the same thing. It has the 1/2-inch bolts, but you can see over here where I just used smaller bolts to bolt that plate onto the bracket that comes with the splitter. So basically, once I did this, I mean, there's absolutely I have no complaints with this. This thing works 100%. I mean, I can take big pieces, anything I can lift, put on here to split it, or I can tip it up, and I can just run the ram down until it splits it into smaller pieces, and then after I get enough of them, I can lay it back down. Okay, so what I do with my splitter is I have this plate here, and what happens is the logs, or part logs, pieces, because I'll put one here, I'll split it, and I set it, half of it here, and since the thing is vibrating, it falls right off. So what I did is I just got some box metal here and lightly just welded it in a couple spots, so that will stop the pieces from falling off. Here's the basic log splitter. There's the engine down here. Here's the ram. Be careful, don't touch everything when you start this thing, because it gets really hot. Here's our log catcher that we installed. See, it protects the engine and also stops the logs from falling over. So let me put a log on here, and I'll start it up, and from there you probably won't be able to hear me. Okay, before we start, I use safety glasses, so I just use sunglasses. Gloves, I have a waist belt on. Okay, I wear long sleeves. I have a set of knee pads just to help, and I have something to protect my ears because this is kind of loud. So remember, safety first. So when you're splitting this wood, make sure you don't put your hand in front. And be careful on the back too, because sometimes you might, just by accident, keep your hands away so you don't get hurt. I mean, it looks pretty simple, but it can cause major problems if you get careless or tired.